Hey, what's up guys? Everything Apple Pro here. Today, let's go ahead and take a look at the latest clone of Apple's latest and greatest iPhone, the 11 Pro Max. So this is the third edition where they've righted all the wrongs and made it look as convincing as possible as Apple's latest version. It's a $150, $160 clone here. Let's just see how close they got to the real deal. These are always a lot of fun, just to see to what lengths they'll go to replicate the experience. Oh, and they actually included a Apple logo bag with all the branding, which is a big no-no. So this version is going to look one-to-one with Apple's packaging, with the design. The last couple of clones had a lot of discrepancies. They were releasing them before they actually knew what the real one would look like fully. These are always fun, especially to see how they mimicked the software, how close they got there. But the packaging looks really good. This is the Midnight Green edition, and apparently does have like a matte back now. It is embossed on the front. It's not as deep green, it's more of like a olive green here, but at least the packaging is one-to-one. Even the way that you open it now looks OEM. So that was the biggest indicator that an iPhone is fake. Now you've got this pull tab. Man, they've gotten advanced. Everything from just the outside looks one-to-one here. That's amazing. Even the label, 512 gigabytes. The text looks really, really good. Even the QR code is identical. That's amazing. So looks like they took the biggest complaints, you know, the fact that you can tell it's a fake without even opening it, and fixed that, and now you can't. So, okay, I'm liking that. The side, it is the same color as Apple's, reflective, a little bit more reflective than theirs, but that's very, very impressive. Okay, so even the opening experience is the same there. And oh, there it is. So we don't have one here, but the Midnight Green edition, look at that. And it's a matte too. So it's more of a grippy matte than Apple's, which is a smooth, but they got closer. So it's not identical one-to-one, but the positioning of the Apple logo now is in the center, not up there. It doesn't have no text. It's actually a matte feeling. I mean, if you didn't know any better, then yeah, you could probably fall for that, but that looks pretty impressive. Like I'm surprised. That's $150, by the way, $160. So there's that. So the color here on the side looks pretty much identical to Apple's. And the positioning of the buttons is wrong though. So they're not dropped down like on the 11 Pro. They're the same positioning as the XS Max. And the power button is still higher up with the SIM card tray. So they didn't replicate that part. I wonder, does it fit our case perfectly? So actually it's a tight fit, letting me know that the specifications are pretty much one-to-one with Apple's size-wise. Cool. Okay, so other than that, the port on the bottom looks pretty good. Speaker grates are a little bit smaller, but also just about there. So just from holding them, feeling them, it feels really good, very premium. It's got that finish on the back, quite close. Like the biggest giveaway here is the lens. They're not all dark like Apple's. It does look a little cheap, and obviously both of them are fake. It does look very bad here. And the flash itself is smaller. So could work on that in the next edition. But the best iPhone clone I've seen so far, just from the outside. Powering it on, we do have the black Apple logo screen, which hides the fact that there's this big old chin on the bottom still. So I'm pretty sure that future versions will get rid of that, but you still have that on this one. It's not going to be perfect. But you know, for $150, the fact that you do have a real notch up here and already like all these premium materials and finishes, it's very impressive what they could do. On the inside, we have the new packets. Oh, and actually an 18-watt replica of Apple's charger. And then a USB-C to Lightning cable. Very cool. So they went above and beyond and they replicated that. When the iPhone turns on, you can see it's already set up here. So no need to go through the process. Very convenient. Okay, so at first glance, this is max brightness, same wallpaper. You cannot replicate Apple's brightness. I mean, this is a very cheap panel in comparison, but it's quite fluid, quite responsive. Let's get to those software differences. So already I'm noticing some discrepancies here. No 3D touch, of course, or haptic touch even. This is not the attention to software I expected. No haptic touch. And even the animations are different. That's a whole separate page in the control center. Oh, there it is. So on the home screen, you do have it, but it's using the older icons here. The battery level isn't filled in. And we've got the widget view. Keyboard is a dead giveaway if you were to turn it on and set it up right away. Let's jump into settings. No back swipe. Ooh, that just killed it for me. The last clone we used had it. Let's see what it's running. And it's running iOS 13.1. Cool, so at least they updated that. Out of the box, instead of having 512 gigabytes available, who knows what's filling up the 100 something gigabytes that's occupied. But it looks good. It's on iOS 13 technically. It gets the job done, but upon closer scrutiny, you'll notice a bunch of things are off. Oh, the animations are not that great. Apple updated the animations to be faster when closing out the app switcher, but I could not tell that here. It's quite bad. Not to mention that the sizing is off. Let's check out the camera application. Let's see if they mimicked the new one at all. And it appears they have not. So it's the old button in the middle, no ultra wide lens, unfortunately, and old style camera application. So a little disappointed they didn't put some more thought in, because this is the most expensive iPhone clone you can get, and all of the effort went outside on somewhat trying to get it to look like the iPhone. I feel like they could have done better here. The actual overall lens is a little bit smaller. That's what's throwing me off. It's killing me, the fact that there's no back swipe. That's so annoying. Now in live, we have some of the older live wallpapers, not the new ones. And in stills, there's actually a good amount of additional wallpapers. So kind of cool that they included some new ones. And instead of having, just one, they have two separate ones for dark mode and whatnot. And no dark mode, unfortunately. So you're not getting that feature on the new 11 Pro Max from China. And there's no additional control center toggles. So what you see here is what you get, nothing else. A bit disappointing. Airplane has a capital P. I'm loving these little touches. Auto brightness has an underscore in it. Okay. So whoever did the little touches on this, I don't think they did a very good job, but I guess it gets the job done. If you're trying to convince someone, on first glance, you might think this is Apple's phone, but really it is not. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect it, and let's see the other details. All right, you guys are not ready for this quality. 8K video recording, 60 frames per second. So the standard 1X is more zoomed in than Apple's. 2 times zoom, I'd say about the same, but no ultra wide lens. And oh my gosh, this application is just broken. Nothing's aligned, but okay. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so there's that video. It's not even on my computer, but it looks grainy. Zooming in 2 times, it gets better, and then 1 time zoom. My baby's back, thanks to Tim from Backyard Boys. Couldn't be any happier there. But one cool thing is you can flip the camera while, or no, it doesn't. That kills the recording, never mind. And the front-facing video, grain for days. Beautiful, shaky, obviously no slow motion. And man, really goes to show you how much finesse has went into Apple's application. I love how refined it's gotten. The button to take pictures during is on the opposite side. But okay. Terrible cameras, but you really can't expect anything else from a clone like this. I love how the last version had way better software, but this one reverts on all of that and goes back. It's very unrefined, but the physical product is way better. So if you were able to flash this with a newer, better version, I feel like it could do a lot better. But yeah, I'm not impressed whatsoever. It does feel really good though. They got the weight right, they got the feeling right. It's 1-to-1 in specification. They just needed to work on the cameras a little bit more. It's very off to me now that I've been using it more often. Cameras are spaced apart further. Actually, they're all smaller, that's why, and not polished. But the matte is pretty dang close. They did good with that. Overall though, could be way, way better for the price. I do not think this is worth $150. And I'd also like to test the electromagnetic frequency radiation, how much this clone produces. So right next to Apple's iPhone, about 3.6 7 to 4 volts per meter. And next to this one, considerably less here, 2.5 volts per meter when connected. I'm surprised. Right next to Apple's, you get way more, even though it's shielded properly inside. So I'm attempting to game on this, and I downloaded Minecraft with some difficulty. The wireless chip in this does not pick up on my 5 gigahertz spectrum network, so it's very slow to download. It's been on this black screen for the longest time. Oh, and I never even checked. The volume HUD actually looks really good. That's cool. Wow, so they actually, that's the only thing I've seen so far that remotely looks like iOS 13. Yeah, interesting, cool. So they got that down, but they couldn't bother to do anything else that looks like iOS 13. I'm upset. And wireless charging does work, so cool, that is there. Lastly, let's check that speaker system, because you just know it's gonna be so bad compared to Apple's. Okay, and let's do this. So iPhone 11 Pro Max, max volume. It's really good. I mean, the best speakers I've heard on a smartphone, period. And our 11 Pro Max clone. Oh my, wow. That is so bad. That's loud, tinny. Obviously only one speaker on this. So it doesn't hold a candle to the real deal. And you know, a little bit more than 1/10 of the price. Is it worth it? I'd say no. Last thing I want to do is take a look inside, as is customary, but from what I'm seeing, they could have done so much better. They're using the same processor, which is going to have roughly about 1,000 on the single core score. It couldn't even run Minecraft. So this is all show, no go. Would not recommend. So yeah, this is not fused with the glass like Apple's. Clearly a big difference there. Okay, and there's that. So, oh wow, the microphone even on the back isn't a real microphone, it's just a piece of plastic. Yeah, so I really cannot get this separated seemingly without breaking it. All right, and that's what it looks like inside. So again, like the last one, a lot of heavy metal used inside just to make it feel heftier. Otherwise, nothing spectacular to report. Nothing like Apple's attention to detail on the inside. Actually got the backside off too, and got a very dinky looking wireless charger here. And the display plugs into this side here. Almost no electromagnetic shielding against anything. Definitely one of the more advanced iPhone clones I've seen. All right guys, so there it is. Does it compare to Apple's? Not at all. Like software, nothing is close. The only thing is the box detail is really good. The physical detail is good until you start using it. And it's a pain in the ass to use. There's really not much you can do with it. You can buy a way better Android phone for $150, $160. But thanks for watching. Always entertaining to see how much further these clones get. And this one misses the mark by quite a bit. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.